Well, I had a question which I think links in with this as well, and it's how can, or any tips on embracing that kind of light within, really, which is where I kind of see when you when everything falls away from your identity, from your emotions, um, sometimes then what's left is so huge and wow and oh my god, wow. It's kind of like you go from being a small identity of a person to that huge awareness. And it's kind of, it's, and I know it's my mind that's very fearful then of embracing that. But is how do yeah how do you embrace,
Yeah.
that, I suppose, without the fear, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I think we may need to put you on mute because there's a bit of feedback there, but I'll respond and then check in with you again. So what Tara was saying there, hopefully you all picked it up, was there's been moments arising there of awareness that's vast, that's huge. And that's awareness recognizing itself as awareness. But at the same time, or almost in the sort of appearance of that, fear, and it is fear, can arise in the body vehicle. It can be experienced as fear, overwhelm, these kinds of things. Fear, overwhelm, and so forth. Now, what that is there's a recognition taking place, an opening to awareness, the vastness of it, and it is vast. It's actually infinite, which means it's completely unlimited. But in the energy system of the body, there's been years and years of conditioning going on. And that's built up what we call the emotional body. And that's there, shall we say, that emotional body is very much there and needs to be dissolved. As awareness is starting to be touched and recognized from within, all of the stuff that's been holding you back, and the emotional body is formed by your beliefs ultimately, by the way. All of the emotional body gets formed by the mistaken belief and the traumas and experiences of life that stem from that belief. The core aspect of the emotional body, the core element of it, is as awareness is recognized, ego mind, which has been appearing to run the show for a long time. Ego mind, which has been appearing to run the show, suddenly starts to lose its grip. It may have had at various points in your life a very, very tight grip. But as awareness is starting to recognize and the hugeness, the vastness of this, in its world, ego mind is going, oh my gosh, my days are numbered. My days are numbered. The writing is on the proverbial wall for me. And it asks the question, sort of in its own small way, who will I be? Who will I be if I let go to this vastness, this awareness there's an awareness arising that the answer to that is actually nothing. or more accurately, no thing. And no thing is infinite. And it sees this, there's a sort of a recognition that's arising that the writing's on the proverbial wall for the identity. And it equates that writing on the wall, to mean death, the end of its being in a front and centre stage. And it equates that death with actually death of the body vehicle. And so humanity's greatest fear is death. The death of the identity equates with death of the body vehicle. And that's why the fear arises. So the tip that Tara was looking for, the tip, as that's coming and, wow, this is overwhelming, there's fear arising or whatever. This is actually, I'm going to reframe this for you now. This is actually a deep, deep invitation. It's not a challenge. It's not a beating you around the head to say you haven't got this yet. It's actually an invitation to recognize there's still energy here in the emotional body that's manifesting as fear or overwhelm, that can be seen, like our little exercise, it can be seen as an appearance. And the tip then is just to simply remain silent, remain neutral, let it be seen and absolutely and totally and utterly felt. No holds barred. And if it appears that you lose it in that process, just let that happen. But just let that, the energy of that, be totally and utterly felt. Awareness is infinite and it's still seeing this, and you are that. And as it's watched neutrally, without any judgment, and completely accepted and felt, a miracle, the miracle of consciousness, will happen. That fear, that overwhelm will simply dissolve because it will be touched from the inside, so to speak, and dissolved and transformed and transmuted by the awareness. I call this, I call this effortless grace. Effortless grace. Ultimately, there is nothing, I cannot emphasize that enough, nothing you have to do. There's nothing you have to do. Simply be totally, utterly, completely present with that appearance, and the fear, the overwhelm, whatever it is, will effortlessly dissolve.